Georgia and their elections always seem to be making the headlines, whether they, have a burst water pipe or their racist election laws, asking for ID. How dare they? But they are still making the news, and it just keeps on coming. We are just going to dip right into the first article. It's from RSBN. I apologize for it being so huge. That's what she said. I cannot see very well, so I need the font to be like 10 times larger than it normally is. Top Georgia election officers, officials, see, I can't say, official demands DOJ investigation of Fulton County's incompetence and malfeasance. Georgia's Fulton County has been long marred with allegations of voting irregularities going back 20 years, and once again, Georgia's most populous county faces scrutiny and allegations that fraud tainted the 2020 election. 2 Fulton County election workers were fired last week after they were caught shredding 300 voter applications for an upcoming municipal election. The county's elections office released a statement earlier this week confirming that instead of fully processing the voter registration applications, in some instances the employees allegedly shredded some forms. I mean, we saw them shredding the forms. We saw the forms shredded. We have millions of witnesses allegedly. I gotta use that word. In response to this shocking revelation, Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, another beauty, demanded this week that the U.S. Department of Justice open an investigation into the disputed county's election management. Raffensperger released a statement imploring DOJ to get to the bottom. Republicans love that word, getting to the bottom. Lindsey Graham says it all the time. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. They never actually get to the bottom of it. Maybe eventually they'll get to the bottom of it. After 20 years of documented failure in Fulton County's elections, Georgians are tired of waiting to see what next embarrassing revelation will be, said the Secretary of State. The Department of Justice needs to take a long look at Fulton County is doing, how its leadership disenfranchises Fulton voters through incompetence and malfeasance. The voters of Georgia are sick of Fulton County's failures. This latest issue follows the wake of allegations of voter fraud at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta on election night. What you guys know about the burst water pipe that never really happened, and and that's the other thing. They say, like, well, there was a urinal backed up, so there was water everywhere, but they told everyone to leave, but a handful of people came back. We had sworn affidavits of people saying they weren't allowed back in. They claimed that all the poll watchers and the media just voluntarily left. They just left for the night, even though they weren't told to leave. So we got people saying they weren't allowed back in. The county says no, they just left willingly. They just went home for the night. So who knows? Either way, we should at least investigate and see what's going on in here. According to Just the News, the state-appointed monitor discovered 29 pages of irregularities, mismanagement, and other problems in the Atlanta vote counting center during the election, ranging from double scanning of ballots and secure transportation of ballots and violation of voter privacy. An excerpt obtained from Brett Bard from a new book written by Molly Hemingway about the 2020 election claims that there were enough irregularities in Georgia during the 2020 election to warrant a discussion about holding a do-over election in the Peach State. Journalists wrote, in the months since 2020, data has been forth showing strong reason to question the legality of more votes than the margin by won by. Had a court been willing to hear the argument, and had Trump's attorneys been able to show the data in the weeks following the election, a good argument would have been made to holding a new election. That election never came. However, problems still exist in Fulton County if election officials across America need to fix. President Trump warned this week that presidents will not be voting in future elections. You have to be careful how much I talk about Georgia. I already got a strike on my channel. Well, they removed the one strike. Now I got a warning. But there is a very good article that talks about some newfound data about the mail-in ballots, and it's verifiably true data. It's the numbers right there. Not my opinion. I'll link that in the description below so you guys can check it out for yourself. And you want to see the Georgia video that I did that got removed, you can go to Rumble, find me on Gab and Odyssey. The video should still be there. But yeah, look, above all else, we can't say this was the safest and most secure election in history. So much stuff is coming out right now where it's just showing anything but, and we should look into it and clean it up. We're not saying overturn anything. We're not saying anything was stolen, but we're saying there are problems with our elections. And even Democrats said that years ago. Throughout 2016, even as late as, what was that interview, 2019, Hillary did, still saying that the election was rigged, still saying that Donald Trump is an illegitimate president.
I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president. He knows that there were a bunch of different reasons why the election turned out the way it did.
And, Yeah, CBS, I believe it was CBS, and other people too, were complaining about they're worried about foreign interference for the 2020 election.
John Dickerson, I love your knowledge of history. Have you ever heard of votes being delayed because a pipe burst?
No.
You wrote the book.
But I'm not sure. I'm not sure there's an intersection between plumbing and history.
I know, but it's so funny because here we were thinking about foreign interference.
Exactly.
They can say all this stuff. They could say all that Putin worked directly with Trump to hack the election machines. Even John Oliver, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, tons of people on the left did specials and speeches saying we can't trust these machines. We can't trust what's going on. There's no security. PBS did a special on it that we can't trust them. That's totally fine, but as soon as we say we're crazy, we're conspiracy theorists, actually Homeland Security now we're domestic terrorists apparently for questioning it. Is John Oliver a domestic terrorist now? He questioned the 2016 election. He questioned the security of the 2020 election. Of course, after the fact, now he's like, no, I would never say that. I believe it's still on YouTube. He did a whole hour saying how we can't trust this stuff. His words on the left. You know, for years and years, people on the left said we can't trust them. We need more security. We need to crack down on this stuff. Now all of a sudden it's like, no, it's fine. And if you question it, you're a domestic terrorist. You need to be locked up. It's the craziest thing. And I was with them originally when they said it. I wasn't like, what are they talking about? You know, I mean, the whole Russia thing was, you know, a bunch of BS. And we know it's a bunch of BS now. But I was with them with like, yeah, I mean, who would not want more security? That sounds fine to me. You know, we should lock down some voter ID, look at these machines like people on the left are saying. I'm fine with that. Let's do it. But now it's just deemed as a right-wing conspiracy. We can't even mention it now. You know, remember what happened in California not too long ago? Actual cheating and people got arrested. We have someone in Georgia, I believe he's a mayor of, excuse me, not Georgia, Arizona. A mayor of Arizona just got in trouble for voting. I think it was they were voting with other people's mail-in ballots. They were arrested. It's anything but the safest and most secure election, and people of all sides should want to get to the bottom of that eventually. I hate to use that term. But we should want to. Don't you want your vote to count? We should want everybody's vote to count. It's the most sacred, wonderful thing that, you know, it was given us to the brave men and women fighting and dying for our right to vote, to speak out, to express ourselves. And it's a very sacred thing. We should never have that question, even in the slightest, our vote. But anyways, guys, if you want to support the channel, the best way is to like and subscribe. And, of course, hit that notification bell when you update when I upload my next video. And you can check out all my socials in the description below. I'm on Instagram and Twitter, but I'm also on the alternatives, Gab, Getter, and all the extra ones. You can check out in the description below, as long as all my sources in the description below if you guys want to read for yourself and not take my word for it. And that is it for today. Appreciate you guys. God bless you guys, and peace out.